I always get a funny feeling down my right leg when I go live on YouTube. We are back together again. Welcome to what is left of the birthplace of the English language. Yes, we are talking about the place where it all started, that lovely language that everyone loves to learn about and practice, which is what we are doing right now. This is English Addict coming to you live from England. Do you like my smile? I hope you will enjoy it today. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you feeling happy? Is there a smile on your face? I really hope there is. Here we are again, live once more for a Sunday. It is a brand new month. Yes, October has arrived. Isn't it nice to see October? I don't know about you, but September seemed like a very long month. I don't know why. Lots of things happening in the world, but also in my private life as well, I suppose. Things going on. Not necessarily good things, by the way. More about that later on. For those wondering who I am, my name is Duncan, and I am one of those. I am an English addict. Can you see up there? I am a person who likes the English language. You might say that I am an English addict, and I have a feeling maybe perhaps you are one of those as well. Nice to see you here today. So that's the introduction over with. It's out of the way. If something is out of the way, it means it has been done. Something has been carried out. It has been done as an action. Something you had to do has now been done. It is out the way. Maybe a person who you are trying to ignore, or maybe you are trying to push them out of your life. You might say that they are now out the way. They are out of the way. They are no longer part of your life. I hope I can be part of your life today. Is that okay? Do you mind? Now I know it's a big thing because you are sitting there in your home, or maybe you are doing something else in your own personal time, but now you have me joining you during those precious moments. So I hope you don't mind. Here we go. Yes, we have made it all the way to the end of another week. A rather dramatic week, some people might say, especially if you are living here in the UK. And of course, that includes England. Yes, it is Sunday. We are back together, and I hope you are having a good one so far. I hope everything is going your way. I was walking through Much Wenlock yesterday with Mr. Steve, and as we arrived into the town centre, we could hear something. It was a sound that we did not enjoy. There was someone standing in the market square and they were singing. They had an acoustic guitar and they were singing some songs. However, I have to say, and I know I might get criticised for this, I am willing to put myself forward. I didn't enjoy it, and to be honest with you, I found it quite annoying. When you are out walking, even if you are walking around a small town like the one I live in, the last thing you want to hear is someone playing a guitar and singing depressing songs. Here I am, standing in your town square, singing some sad songs, and I'm not singing them very well. What do you think? Do you like street performers? To be honest with you, I am not a fan. One of the things I hate about going to London, and if you've ever been to London, you will know that there are lots of people hanging around, street performing, various types of street performance. And some of them are either not very good or they are very annoying because you are trying to do something. You want to walk. You want to just have a little bit of peace and quiet or maybe enjoy yourself. And there is someone doing something really annoying in your ear. So what do you think? Do you like street performers? I have to be honest with you, I do find them slightly annoying, especially when they're not very good. And I know what you're going to say, Mr. Duncan, you horrible little man. Do you realise that sometimes people are raising money for charity when they are doing that? Yes, I will accept that. But to be honest with you, it doesn't make it any less annoying. What about you? Do you ever find this if you go to your local town, or maybe if you are walking by some shops, maybe there is a person performing, maybe playing a guitar or playing another musical instrument, maybe a harmonica? Do you like them? Another thing as well they have in London, they have those statues. It's a person who stands in the street and they pretend to be a statue. Like that. What do you think? Annoying? Or really, really good? Please let me know on the live chat. Talking of which, we have the live chat. Yes, I can't forget the live chat because without you out there watching me here, there would be none of this, you see. It would not exist. Some people say that's a good thing. And some people say they would miss me very, very much. Hello to the live chat. Oh, very interesting. We have a unique situation today on the live chat because in first place today we have Valentin. Hello, Valentin. Nice to see you here. Guess what? You are first on today's live chat. You know what? I know I haven't done it for a long time, but that deserves a fancy pants. That's enough. We can't have too much excitement at the start of today's live stream. We also have Beatrice. Hello, Beatrice. Nice to see you here as well on the live chat. Paolo is here. We also have our regular champion, but not today. I think today Vitas is giving his finger a rest. I think so. We also have Claudia. Hello, Claudia. I suppose I should also ask the question that I always ask every Sunday. Claudia, can you please tell me, give me the answer to this question?
What's cooking, Claudia? What have you got in the pot? What's cooking, Claudia? Is it something spicy and hot? Is it something salty or not? Oh, Claudia, what is in the pot?
What is in your pot today, Claudia? Are you cooking something nice? Maybe because the springtime is on its way where you are, perhaps you are having something cold. Maybe salad. I mentioned this last week. During the summer months, when the weather gets hot, a lot of people like to have cold food. Salads are very popular. Certain types of food, cold food that is served quickly, and also maybe food that is very convenient to eat. So quite often cold food is very convenient to eat, especially snacks. I don't know about you, because I'm not there, but do you like snacks? Because I love having snacks. And I'm going to show you 2 of my most favourite snacks. Things that you can eat very quickly. Something that maybe you eat between your meals to stop your stomach from making disgusting noises. So I'm going to show you 2 of my snacks that I like to have during my private time. Sometimes when I'm relaxing, maybe I'm busy, maybe I'm doing lots of things and I want to eat something quickly. Quite often I will have one of these, a little cracker. Crackers are great. I love crackers because, first of all, you don't have to make them because they come ready-made, but also it's very convenient if you want to put things like cheese or maybe some tomato or maybe something else on top. Some people like to put very unusual things like peanut butter on their crackers. So what about you? Do you like eating snacks? And if you do, what type of food do you normally eat? So I really enjoy eating crackers because you can get them very quickly from the cupboard. It doesn't take very long. Another thing I like eating as a snack, something that I eat very quickly, is a piece of bread. And there you can see a very basic type of food, bread. However, I would imagine around the world, most countries at some point are manufacturing, baking bread. And lots of people enjoy eating it as well, especially as a snack. So there you can see a very simple piece of bread with, and this is the surprising part, with nothing on, just a little bit of butter. So sometimes a little bit of bread and butter is something I eat as a quick snack when I'm in a hurry. Maybe I have no time to cook some food. Maybe I am going out, or maybe I am doing a lot of work here in the studio. So sometimes I will grab a piece of bread and I will put some butter on the bread, and that's it. It's a very simple snack. So that's one of my favourite snacks. What about you? Do you like snacking? Do you like eating food in a hurry? I wonder if you do. Max is here. Hello, Max. Max enjoys eating crackers with a little bit of salt. Interesting. Now, I know a lot of people like to put salt on their food. Some people put too much, and of course too much salt is not good for you. It can cause all sorts of weird problems inside your body, such as high blood pressure. So it is not good to have too much salt or sodium in your daily diet. Christina says, Mr. Duncan, I go crazy for bread and cheese. If I am feeling especially hungry, if I'm feeling extra hungry, I will be honest, I do like a little bit of cheese. I will cut some cheese and I will put it onto my sandwich. So I will put a little bit of cheese inside as well. But you are right, cheese sandwich. Absolutely amazing, especially if you can find a nice piece of cheese, something with lots of flavour, definitely. Claudia is here, talking of food. I don't eat snacks, I just drink coffee. But at night, after supper, I will eat some almonds. Yes, things that you can just have nearby and you will just eat them. Maybe you are sitting watching television. And a lot of people these days like to have something nearby, something maybe in a little bag or a packet. Nuts, very popular. Crisps, very popular. A lot of people like to eat those types of things as a snack whilst they are relaxing, sitting down. Almonds. Peanuts, I must admit. I do like peanuts. Peanuts and also cashew nuts. Wow. There is a certain type of cashew nut that you can buy here, and they've been roasted and covered with honey. Wow, honey roasted cashew nuts. Is there anything nicer than that? I'm not sure. But yes, that is another one of my little favourite snacks when I'm in a hurry. Can I say hello to Marcia? Hello, Marcia. Nice to see you here. Hello also to... Who else is here today? Beatrice is here. Nice to see you here today. So what about you? Do you like to listen to street performers? I find them a little annoying, especially if I'm trying to concentrate on something else. So yesterday when we walked into Much Wenlock, there was a man playing a guitar, but he wasn't singing very well. And he wasn't playing the guitar very well. And to be honest with you, it was really spoiling everything. The whole atmosphere of the little town square was ruined. Am I being too fussy? Am I being too cruel with my thoughts there? I wonder. Beatrice is another one who likes nuts. It would appear that a lot of people are nuts about nuts. We can describe a person as being nuts about something if they really like it. You might say that a person is a little bit crazy even. A person who is nuts about something, that means they are crazy for it. They love it very much. Hello also to Magdalena. Pretzel with some butter is a good snack. It is very popular here in Germany. Is that pretzel or brezel? I don't know what a brezel is. I know what a pretzel is. Pretzels are very nice, by the way. I do like eating pretzels. Very nice as well. Beatrice appears to be going on a journey or taking a journey. Have you been somewhere? Apparently, Beatrice has been taking a journey and it took 11 hours. Oh my goodness, I have to be honest with you. I don't think I could sit on a bus for 11 hours without any break. I think I would have a lot of problems with that, especially if I needed to go to the toilet, you see, because they do have... Now, yes, I know what you're going to say. Mr. Duncan, nowadays you can get on a bus and the buses are very large and at the back they normally have a toilet. The only problem is I am not the only person on the bus. Other people are also travelling on the bus at the same time and they also want to go to the toilet. And quite often, some people do not take care when they are in the bus toilet. Let's just say. It can get a little bit messy. So that's one of the reasons why I would never sit on a bus for a very long time, because I think it would drive me crazy. But also, if you had to go to the toilet, there is a very good chance that the toilet will be a little messy, to say the least. Mega! Hello, Mega! I get sick if I stay in any car for more than 30 minutes. Yes, this is a very common problem with many people. I am quite good if I'm sitting in the front seat. If I sit in the front seat of the car, I'm okay. But if I sit in the back seat of a car for a long period of time, the feeling of the motion, the feeling of the movement of the road will slowly make me feel nauseous. I will feel sick. Some people do. They actually vomit. They will actually throw up in the back of a car. And I can't think of anything worse. I'm sure there are worse things that you could clear up in the back of your car, but I think vomit must be one of the worst things of all. That's one of the reasons why I will never be a taxi driver, I suppose. I wonder how many times a taxi driver, especially on a Friday or Saturday night, when the pubs and the bars have closed and lots of people are walking around drunk. I wonder how many people or how many taxi drivers have to clean all of the vomit off the inside of their car. Not very nice. Claudia? Is Claudia going? I think Claudia might be going. Oh, I see. Okay then. Claudia has a joke. On the train, there was a man playing a violin and the sound was awful. Then he asked for money, but nobody gave him a single coin. So he said, I will ask you for money again. Oh, I will play again. Oh, I see. So I suppose what you're saying is because he can't play the violin very well, he won't get any money anyway. He still won't get any money. So the donations that the people will be giving are based on how well he plays the violin. I think so. Hello also to Luis Mendez. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you back here today. So what about you? If you have a snack, especially late at night, something I used to do when I was much younger, I used to get up in the middle of the night and I used to go downstairs when I was still living at home with my parents. I used to go downstairs and I would sneak into the kitchen. Sneak. If you sneak, it means you move quietly or steadily in a certain direction. You sneak downstairs. You sneak into the kitchen. So I used to do it quite often. I used to love having snacks in the middle of the night when I was young. The only problem is, of course, as you get older, if you like to have snacks at night, it's not very healthy, especially if you do it too often. Talking of people who are really fit and healthy, we have Mr. Steve coming soon. Today we are looking at phrases, words and idioms connected to roads and being on the road. All sorts of words and phrases coming up today. So I hope you will stay with me. We also have a little bit of sad news today, something sad that we're doing tomorrow. And we will talk about that briefly as well in a few moments with Mr. Steve. Yes, he is on his way. Mr. Steve is coming. For those who like watching Mr. Steve and listening to his words of wisdom, you won't have to wait much longer. Mr. Steve has officially put the garden to bed. Well, almost anyway. He has been busy this morning doing the very same thing. Talking of Mr. Steve, guess what? Can you guess? Yes. It's time for Mr. Steve. Do 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 do.
Hello.
It's Mr. Steve.
Hello, Mr. Duncan. Hello, wonderful, beautiful viewers from across the world.
You are.
You are loyal, lovely, eager to learn English.
Yes.
Bursting to learn some English. I know you are. I can sense it. I can sense it. I can sense the desire to learn, to absorb.
I'm also sensing something.
Oh, Mr. Duncan, it's a lovely day today outside.
It's very strange, though, because it's been everything. It keeps going dark as if it's going to rain. But anyway,
Well,
it's nice to have you here, by the way. You are all so lovely. As the song, you know the song, don't you?
No?
You are so beautiful to me. You are all so beautiful. Can't you see? Something like that.
No idea what that song is, but anyway. Yeah, I was saying it's so warm. I mean, it's the 2nd of October, and it's something like 60 degrees outside.
60.
It's very warm.
Really?
Very warm outside.
It's hot in here.
It's very hot in here, and it's good because we don't have to, with the rising energy costs, we don't have to put the heating on.
Come on.
At the moment.
Let's not talk about that.
But, you know, paying double at least, aren't we?
Yes, okay, Steve.
But yeah, I'm just saying the advantage is, you know, we don't have to put the heating on and use any expensive energy. Which, you know, a lot of people will be thinking along those lines.
They probably will, but they probably don't want to think about it right now.
Saving them money.
So the thing with October, of course, October here, it's the strange transition between summer and autumn. So during October, you can have some quite nice weather. You can have some really nice warm weather, even during October, which is always very welcome. Of course, we have a little bit of sad news as well tomorrow. We are giving Mr. Steve's mum a send-off tomorrow, aren't we?
We are, and thank you very much. I can see some comments, Beatrice and a few others as well. Yes, I am feeling better. But obviously tomorrow's a bit of a big day, so hopefully that will go well, and then you can start to move on a bit. It's taken me. I'm doing the eulogy, Mr. Duncan.
For those who don't know what a eulogy is normally a short biography that is read out about the person who has passed away. So tomorrow, during Mr. Steve's mother's funeral, Steve will be delivering the eulogy.
Yes, it's sort of talking about Mum, her life, what she was like, her personality, the things she did in her life, That's what we do here. It's going to be about 5-10 minutes long. It's taken me, I have written and rewritten it so many times, Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
Probably about 5 times I've rewritten it. It must have taken me 3 or 4 days in total to keep right. And but anyway, I want to do a good job. Everyone wants to do a good job of that.
Yes.
The grandchildren are helping as well. They're going to be reading things, so it's not just going to be me. Yes, and thank you for all your good wishes.
Yes.
And
another thing to mention, and this I think I'm mentioning it because I am sort of involved tomorrow. During coronavirus, do you remember, Steve, during COVID, a lot of services were taking place in church, weddings and also funerals. But what I found interesting is a lot of people were, during the lockdown and the pandemic, they were actually live streaming through the internet the actual funeral, the actual service. So we had the idea, didn't we, during the week, because a lot of your mum's friends who are also elderly can't come to the actual funeral tomorrow.
Mum's family, who live a long way away, because where she lives now isn't where she was born and grew up, but most of her family are still where Mum was originally born.
A long way off.
It's a long way off, and they're the same age as Mum, if not older.
So I had an idea. I had a brainwave. We could either live stream the service so people who couldn't get there for various reasons can watch it, but we found out that is not possible because the church does not have any connectivity or any good connectivity. So the next best thing is I'm going to put a camera there tomorrow, and we'll be able to let those who couldn't attend actually watch the video. So that's something we're doing separate from all of this. It's not here, it's not on here, it won't be here, but it's something private and away. But I thought it was quite interesting how many people have been using technology in ways that we didn't before. So in the past, you don't normally film funerals.
No.
It's very unusual.
We hadn't thought about doing it, but some of Mum's siblings, so her brothers and sisters, who can't come tomorrow, have asked if we can record it so that they can watch it, because we certainly weren't going to do that, but we will now, and obviously make it available to family members that can't go.
So it won't be published here. It won't be on my YouTube channel. It's going to be somewhat private. But I was quite fascinated by that period of time where people were using live streaming for things that you don't normally broadcast or show like that.
So would seem inappropriate, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Although Vittoria says that, of course, in Italy during the COVID and in here, many other parts of the world where there were lockdowns, many people passed away without any funerals. And many people passed away in hospital, which is even sadder. They couldn't visit their relatives or loved ones in hospital because, but we won't go into that.
No, but so that's what I'm doing tomorrow. So I am kind of involved, technical, but I'm only going to have the camera standing at the back of the hall. I won't be doing anything else. I won't be operating it because I will be sitting with Mr. Steve. Hopefully, we will make it through.
William, to lighten the mood a little.
Hello, Willian.
William wants one of your T-shirts.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I might make these available. So this is a T-shirt that I designed myself. Do you like that? I'm an English addict. Are you? Yes, I like this T-shirt. It took me a while to design it and get it printed. But yes, I do have this T-shirt, but I might in the future, it depends, Steve, to be honest, on how many people want them, but I might actually start selling these. So if you are interested in having an English Addict T-shirt, I can very easily get them made and have them available on my YouTube channel.
For a modest price.
For a modest price.
Maybe, £1,000, something like that. Poor fan.
Actually, Steve, you're not far off.
Irfan said, "Don't talk about that terrible virus. I've got it
Oh, I see.
right now." Oh, well, very good of you to come on the live stream today with that. It is a terrible virus. Victoria points out, of course, that it was very hard in Italy. They really did suffer, particularly at the beginning, because they were one of the first countries to really suffer, and they pretty much had it all the way through. I think it was extremely tough
Yes.
in Italy, because they went through it before everybody else, really, didn't they? They were one of the first European countries to have to go into lockdown and all that sort of thing. That yes, it was very hard. Yes.
So today we are talking about other things. We've been talking about snacks, Steve.
Yes.
And I was showing a couple of my favourite snacks. If I'm in a hurry, I like to eat crackers because they're very convenient and you can put a piece of cheese on the top and there suddenly you have a complete meal.
Well, Max Poe, strange you should say crackers. Max Poe said that they eat crackers as snacks. With salt. I presume you mean salty crackers, which those are. Sorry, Mr. Duncan, I interrupted you then.
These are lovely. I love crackers very much, and I like the sound that they make when you eat them. You crunch into them.
We're eating live, not for the first time.
Actually, that one's gone slightly soft.
It's been out for a while, but yet they are nice because sometimes you don't always want something sweet, and so a cracker or just dry bread with a bit of butter on is quite nice if you want to avoid.
Like this.
Although
bread with just a little bit of butter
or marmalade.
So there is nothing else on this sandwich. It is just butter, and it's nice. Sometimes you just want to eat something quickly. So I love having a piece of bread with a little bit of butter.
The Queen used to like having jam sandwiches or marmalade sandwiches. That was one of her favourites. I have those at lunchtime as well, because obviously I'm royalty. I didn't, it's interesting, isn't it, how the Queen does it and then I do it as well. And I didn't even know she did it because, royal people, they, important people, they just sort of connect somehow through the ether. What am I talking about? I don't know. Lots of people were talking about their snacks. Claudia doesn't usually have snacks. She has coffee instead. But if she is having a snack, she'll have nuts, almonds, to be precise. Yes, I like almonds. I tend to have them with breakfast, but you can have them any time. Very healthy nuts are as a snack. But sometimes you just want something sweet, don't you? So that's Claudia with her almonds. Coffee, by the way, I've had to give up coffee, haven't I, Mr. Duncan? Short story. Yes, so when I'm a bit stressed, I sometimes get a bit of erratic heartbeat. And over the last few weeks, since the problem, with my mum and everything, I've been suffering a bit that way, and my heart's been all going in erratic beats. So I went to the doctor about it because I was a bit concerned. The first thing she said to me was, stop drinking coffee. And, it worked. Because I think if you're a bit stressed, you're more sensitive to things like caffeine. So I've swapped to decaf coffee. And when I have tea, I pour half of it away and fill it up with water. And it seems to be working. I don't miss it, Mr. Duncan.
So you've been having too much caffeine.
Although I only have 3 cups a day, so I don't think that's very much. But anyway, I've stopped it for now, and that seems to work. So who else? We've talked. Yes, toasted bread with malted cheese, says Christina.
Wow.
So that sounds nice.
I'm not
malted
sure
cheese.
What's malted? Melted.
Could be melted.
I think it's cheese on toast.
Toasted bread. And Dorothy uses white bread as a pizza base.
Good idea as well.
Yeah. Why go out and buy a pizza base when you can just use a bit of bread and then spread some nice sauce on it, which is what Dorothy's doing.
I hope you're enjoying watching me eat my snack, because I am a little bit hungry.
We'd love to know what your other snacks are, but crackers. Here we go. Christina says crackers with Nutella. Oh yes.
I don't like Nutella.
That's chocolate with, is it almonds? I think it's chocolate and almond paste. Do you know, I've never tried it. I would like to. I tend to like these sort of healthy snacks, Mr. Duncan. Here's one that I'm eating at the moment. I'll show it to the lovely viewers. Am I doing that correctly, Mr. Duncan?
Very good.
So this is a fibre and fruit bar. It says it's fibre packed with fibre. So that's good for your gut, isn't it? And it's got dark chocolate and sea salt in it. And, oh, blimey, I'm going to have to resist opening and eating this. Maybe I'll wait till you do some kind of monologue, Mr. Duncan, a monologue. So that's when somebody just does a speech and it's just them.
One person is talking.
One person is talking, which I will be doing tomorrow at the funeral. That'll be a monologue when I deliver the eulogy. So this is fruit and nut with dark chocolate and sea salt. Eat natural. They come in boxes of 5. And
Are you getting sponsored for this?
sadly not, but I do like these particular ones. Although the bits of nut get stuck in your throat sometimes and make me cough. You've got to be careful with nuts if they get stuck in your throat.
There's nothing worse than getting a nut
Yes.
jammed in your throat.
Yes. Here we go. Max Poe says, what about bread with chocolate and marmalade? Oh, that's an interesting idea. Chocolate and marmalade. Might try that later.
You know what Columbo's favourite sandwich is? Peanut butter with raisins. I don't think I like the sound of that.
I like peanut butter on bread, but it's a bit dry to eat. I find I can't get any saliva to swallow it. There's something about the peanut butter and the bread together. It sort of soaks up all your saliva and I can't swallow it.
There's nothing worse when you're eating, you get a dry mouth. It makes your mouth go very dry. At least I have my water today, my elegant glass, a new one. Do you like my...
Good grief.
You might notice every week I will be using a different glass. So this week we've gone very elegant this week. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It looks like a glass that they use in a science fiction film.
Oh, Mr. Duncan. Christina, what about crackers with Philadelphia cheese?
Yes.
Now,
in the fridge at the moment, there is a container with some Philadelphia cheese, soft cheese.
well, I had a friend who I went to university with, and he used to eat crackers with soft cream cheese on every night, constantly eating them. Belarusia says, I like coffee, but Claudia, sorry. But I've started to drink green tea. Yes. Well, green tea is supposed to be very healthy. Black tea is good for you as well, but green tea is supposed to be even better. You know what I'm going to say, Mr. Duncan? My favourite word at the moment is a healthy ingredient that's in skins of fruit and things like green tea.
Is it antioxidant?
Well, it is. It's a flavonoid or a flavonoid. I think I mentioned it last night. It sounds like something at the back of your throat.
But are you saying it right?
Probably. Well, some people say flavonoid, some people say flavonoid. I don't know which is the correct one.
So you just say both?
I just say both.
So
That's right.
there's a 50-50 chance that Mr. Steve has got it right. That's good. I like those odds.
Irfan said, that's interesting. Well, he says it's not good to consume coffee if you're stressed. No, because you've already got sort of adrenaline, already got things stimulating your heart, like adrenaline and cortisol being released. So if you add caffeine into that, it's just going to make things worse. And Irfan said, my left eye started twitching and went on for 2 weeks, and the doctor advised me not to have coffee. Well, I get that sometimes. It sort of starts twitching.
Although, to be honest with you, various parts of your body do sometimes spontaneously start twitching.
That is true.
Yes.
So maybe I'm sensitive to caffeine, but then I'm always stressed, so I'm always going to be sensitive
That's true.
to caffeine. So, yeah.
You know we love talking about the English language, and there are many parts of English that sometimes cause confusion, but also sometimes cause controversy. One particular part of the English language is the apostrophe.
Oh.
over the years, many people have argued about the apostrophe. And there was, for a few years, a large movement of people complaining about the use of the possessive apostrophe. And I thought it was interesting to mention this because yesterday we were walking in town and we noticed that there was a road sign. Would you like to see the road sign? Okay, here it is. So there is the road sign. You will notice that that particular road sign is actually possessive, but there is no apostrophe. That is disgraceful.
Naughty.
As Liz Truss would say, that is a disgrace. However,
Disgraceful.
if we look a little bit further along the road at the other end, you will see that there is an apostrophe. But this is no ordinary apostrophe because someone has actually added it.
Yes.
They've actually written the apostrophe on the sign using a pen, which I think is amazing.
So somebody local
Yes.
realised the grammatical error
Yes.
from Much Wenlock Town Council and decided to go and add an apostrophe themselves. Are you sure it wasn't you, Mr. Duncan?
It was definitely not me.
Well, it really made us laugh.
Yes, so I think that's brilliant. So someone's actually gone to the trouble of putting an apostrophe on that particular sign. And the reason why it should have one is because it's possessive. So that particular sign says St. Owen's Drive, which is possessive because that particular drive or that particular road is named after St. Owen's, one of the patron saints of this area. I think Welsh, actually, because Owen is a Welsh name. So that actually is possessive. And that's the reason why it should have an apostrophe. However, you can see that one, which is more modern. It is a modern sign. It does not have one. And even this sign didn't have one. And that's much older. But someone has gone to a great deal of trouble, a great deal of work to actually add an apostrophe to it. Isn't that just brilliant?
I bet they walk past that every day and thought that really annoyed them. It must be like an English teacher or something. Yes, because the name St. Owen, they're saying that drive or that road is St. Owen's. It belongs to them.
Yes,
don't they?
It's named after them. And normally you will put a possessive apostrophe, rather like the way in which you would put an apostrophe in a building that is dedicated to someone. St. Paul's Cathedral, for example, also has an apostrophe because
Yes.
it's dedicated to that person. So anything named after someone, anything that is dedicated to a person will always have an apostrophe. However, these days, especially with road signs, a lot of people have stopped using the apostrophe.
Maybe, Mr. Duncan, we should go back next week and put the apostrophe in the one that hasn't got one, just to be pedantic and send a message to Much Wenlock Town Council.
Shall we just go around Much Wenlock and put apostrophes on everything?
Where there isn't one.
Would you like to see some terrible examples of apostrophe use? Here we go. So here we go with some awful uses of apostrophes. So you might notice some of them, Steve, straight away. For example, in the top left, you will see toilets. So there is an apostrophe, but there shouldn't be because it's not possessive.
No.
So those toilets don't belong to someone, and something is not being named as belonging to the toilet.
They're just saying that there are a number of toilets
Yes, which
here.
is
A plural number of toilets.
yes. So quite often people will mistakenly put an apostrophe to mean plural, when in fact you don't need to put one. You don't need to.
Just simply saying there that there are toilets there, so more than one toilet.
Yes. And next to it, you can see men's room, which should have an apostrophe.
Yes.
So that one should have one, but it doesn't have. So you can see there are some good examples there. I won't go through all of them because it will take me forever.
You can have a look at them in your own leisure.
I think my favourite, Steve, must be the bottom right. So that is a well-known chain of supermarkets.
Yes.
And over the years, people have said that that particular company should not have an apostrophe because it's Sainsbury's, as in the family name. But there are also people who argue that it is actually possessive because that company belongs to the Sainsbury family. So it would be Sainsbury's. So you can see that quite often the apostrophe can cause a lot of confusion, but also a lot of controversy as well. It's amazing how angry people get with the use of English grammar. It's incredible. Some people will go into the street and they will fight. They will actually go into the street, Steve, teachers or scholars of the English language, and they will go into the street and they will fight, maybe with their fists or with objects like large chairs. It's true.
See here, Max Poe says, so Mr. Duncan, if a hospital is named, for example, with a saint, it doesn't have to be just a saint's name, it could be anybody's name, should it have the apostrophe?
Yes.
Yes, it could.
If it's dedicated to that person.
It doesn't have to be a saint. Could be somebody, could be a politician or something that opened somewhere. But yeah, definitely, if you've got a hospital that's named after a saint, then yeah, it's there. What you're saying is it's their hospital.
Yes.
Saint whoever's hospital. So it should have an apostrophe.
So that's really what you can see there in those examples of uses.
Lewis is going.
Or bad uses.
See you again soon, Lewis.
See you later, Lewis. Take care until the next time we meet. We are talking about words and phrases. Talking of roads, isn't that strange? Some people say that I don't put any plan or have any plan for my live streams, but can I just say, yes, I do. Sometimes I work incredibly hard coming up with all this stuff. I really do.
Tomek, you have to leave your messages on a bit longer because I never have time to read them.
Yes. There is no point writing a message on the live chat and then deleting it because there is a good chance we won't see it.
I've missed that one.
It doesn't even show up on the replay.
Hello anyway. Hello. Right. Must have been something nasty about us. I'm joking.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm joking. There is William says there's an apostrophe in McDonald's.
Yes, I would imagine that they would use an apostrophe in McDonald's because it is possessive. So McDonald's as in old McDonald's farm or McDonald's restaurants, because you are expressing that as a possessive.
So maybe it used to say McDonald's restaurants. So that would have an apostrophe then, wouldn't it?
That's it.
So maybe Sainsbury's used to say Sainsbury's supermarkets or something. So and they've just kept the apostrophe in because it used to be a longer phrase.
Yes. So it is interesting how that still confuses people. Even people who speak English and use English as their first language get confused by that little tiny thing, that little tiny apostrophe.
The other one that... sorry, Mr. Duncan.
No, that's okay.
The other one that always confuses me is the colon or the semicolon. Maybe we can discuss that another time when you should use a colon or a semicolon. I'm talking about grammar, Mr. Duncan.
Oh, I know.
So, yes, that always gets me confused. But maybe we can talk about that another time. Do you put a capital letter after a colon or a semicolon for the next word? We can discuss that another time. I think that's quite a topical subject.
Even commas, when we have commas in a sentence, can also cause a little bit of friction between English scholars. It happens. People always fall out. The other day I was watching television, Steve, and I was outraged.
Outraged?
It takes a lot to outrage me, but I was outraged.
Hi, Marcia.
Do you want to know why?
Was it something to do with the pound going down?
No, nothing to do with that. I'm sick of hearing about that. People.
Marcia's going, by the way. She's going off to vote.
See you later, Marcia. You're voting, are you? Because Brazil today
Yes.
are voting for someone who may or may not be the new leader of Brazil. So we will have to see. There is a great video, by the way, of the current leader dancing. He's dancing in his just a pair of shorts. It's very good.
Controversial. A lot of guns around. Be careful, Marcia.
Sorry? A strange thing to say.
No, I was reading today that there's a lot of people own guns now in Brazil.
Okay.
Because the laws have been relaxed
Oh.
over the last few years. So the implication is that if a certain person doesn't get in, people might take to the streets.
Okay.
So be careful, Marcia.
Can we just say we don't condone that?
Well, of course we don't. No,
We don't.
No. And what were you saying, Mr. Duncan?
I was outraged.
Outraged.
There were people
Got an itch.
on television. Oh
Yes.
dear. Do you have to do that?
Got an itch. Yes, go on.
Steve's got an itch down there.
It's on my
And
thigh.
I won't tell you where it is.
It's on
but
my thigh.
Let's just say it's on one of his.
No, thigh. It was a thigh. You were outraged, Mr. Duncan.
I was outraged the other day. I put the TV on for some light relaxation,
As you do.
and there were a couple of people, presenters, on one of those shopping channels, and they were selling Christmas trees.
Oh,
Just let that sink in.
well, yesterday was the 1st of October. And as we know, the 1st of October, many people, many shopping channels, many shops, many advertising people, companies start to promote Christmas in October.
Can we not do this yet? It's been a busy year. A lot of things have been going on. There are people that might not even be able to afford to have Christmas this year. So can we not talk about Christmas just yet? So I was really shocked. I stared at the television with my mouth open, and how I did not put my foot through the television screen, I will never know. But I was outraged. I just said, "You've got to be kidding! You've got to be kidding! We can't be talking about Christmas already. It's only the beginning of October." So they were selling Christmas decorations and Christmas trees. It's only the 2nd of October. Please, can we not have Christmas yet?
Palmyra's off to vote as well, of course.
Yes.
We
Claudia-
won't ask who you're voting for because that might make you, liable to abuse from local people.
I know. Well, it depends what who they want to vote for in that area. They might all be with the same idea.
Yes,
You
be
don't know.
careful.
So is that the reason why there's nothing cooking today? There's nothing cooking in your pot because you're going out to vote. Very interesting.
Oh, you mean Claudia?
Yes, of course.
Yes. Tomek says, "Why do you think so low of me? I love you to bits." We know you do. We're only joking. The comment was concerning your new Prime Minister. Well, we'd love comments about our new Prime Minister. Believe you me, we do not have any allegiance, any loyalty to the new Prime Minister whatsoever.
I don't think many people do.
Don't think she's very popular after last week.
Yes.
But yes, controversial things going on, but we won't talk about that. But it's interesting to know what other people think. I mean, she nearly single-handedly
Okay, Steve, I've got to stop you here.
caused serious problems in the financial markets throughout the world.
Anyway, Steve.
But yes,
you just can't stop
I
yourself.
can't stop myself, no.
So no mention of Christmas, please. It's too early. It's too early for Christmas. Mr. Steve, it's too far. Christmas is too far away in my mind and in the mind of people. It is still summer where Saturino is. Well, I would imagine it is.
Well, it's all about selling things, isn't it? That's why they do it. They want to get people to buy stuff off them before they buy them off anybody else.
There is a slight problem with that notion, and that's the fact that people have to have money to be able to buy things, you see.
Well, they won't at the moment. You know, everything's going up, isn't it? Mortgages.
Magdalena says the Christmas illuminations in the cities will be reduced in Germany to save electricity. This is something...
Yes, we've heard about this.
No, it hasn't been mentioned yet.
It has? Right. Christmas. Christmas.
Yes, because I mentioned it to you a few days ago. And I said to Steve, I said, I wonder how long it will be before people are told not to have Christmas lights at Christmas. So I think it's going to happen. You wait. So I might be the first person that said this in the world, if not the universe. They're going to tell you not to use Christmas lights this Christmas. It's going to happen, especially in this country. So I think here in England we are going to be told, maybe in 2 or 3 weeks from now, not to use Christmas lights.
Well, it's very confusing because they keep saying there's a shortage of electricity, and yet the other day I read that we've been selling electricity to other countries across Europe. But a couple of months ago, we were told we've got a shortage of electricity.
Yeah.
So maybe the wind's been picking up and we've been able to export some of our wind power.
Yes.
But yes, it could well happen.
One day it's AC, and the next day it's DC. They just can't make up their mind.
That's the same with people, isn't it? One day they're AC, the next day they're DC.
They keep alternating.
Or the other way round.
Do you like my electricity puns? They're really good. But don't blow a fuse.
Are you AC/DC? Is a question that
Are you still doing that?
Asked.
You did that a minute ago.
I didn't think you had heard. Anyway, right. William, are you going? There's a German beer festival.
Oh. Yes, it's Oktoberfest.
Oh, no. Sorry, it's in Brazil.
Oh.
There's a German festival in Brazil.
Well, it's every October they have Oktoberfest in Germany, but I would imagine there must be a lot of pubs and bars around the world that also have the same theme as well.
I've never been to a beer festival.
No.
I would like to go one day.
You have to wear lederhosen.
Really?
Yes. So you have to wear lederhosen, you have to have one of those big hats with the feather, and you have to do that dancing, Steve. Put your stupid pen down.
I'm not doing that.
No, we're there.
Oh, Mr. Duncan. I wasn't expecting that. Mind you,
that's what you do. That's the traditional German dancing.
Yes, we didn't really demonstrate that very well.
No, it wasn't very good.
I didn't know what you caught me, on the hop there, Mr. Duncan.
Okay, all right then. All right, it's just a funny bit.
I know.
It's gone now.
But yes, I have been to Austria and had some nice beers there, but not to Germany. But maybe we could go one day, Mr. Duncan.
Maybe.
And because they are very famous, and the ladies are all serving in their nice costumes.
Yes,
aren't they?
well, they have their tight dresses, and they normally have large jugs, which they pour the beer from.
Yes.
Yes. So you will see the German ladies with their very large jugs, and that's something a lot of men notice, the jugs, because they can see them. They're full, and they're almost splashing everywhere, the beer from those enormous jugs.
I think we get the picture. Yes. Christmas market, says Magdalena. Yes. Germany are famous for their Christmas markets, and in fact, you have exported your Christmas markets, your German Christmas markets to the UK, because they're very popular here.
Yes.
In Birmingham, there's a German Christmas market every year. And it takes over the whole town centre for about 2 weeks. And you can go there and have beer, you can have giant frankfurters.
Ooh. Yes, please.
Well, we all like a bit of German sausage. Sorry.
What about pretzels? Pretzels.
Probably. With the onions, great big long ones. You can have, 6, 8, 12-inch ones. All sorts of sizes are available for sale.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And you can buy all the little knickknacks and things for your Christmas tree. And a good time is had by all. So yeah, we may go there. To a German market. I used to go every year to it. It got a bit boring after a while. I've been going year after year with my friends.
Well, the reason why I wouldn't go is just because of all the people.
Well, there is that. It can get a bit crowded.
Yeah.
I remember once feeling a bit scared.
Being pushed around by lots of strangers, jostling, and people trying to bump into me, and having my sausage knocked out of my mouth. Nothing worse than that.
Well, look, as Rosa says, it's almost nothing, around $50. What is that? I missed that, Rosa.
Oh.
Connell maybe said something. I'm not sure.
This is interesting. How to kill your live stream with Mr. Steve.
Tomek says, during a job interview, how would you describe a teamwork in one word? Yeah, you would just say team working, probably. If you were going for an interview, which I may be going for an interview as well. If you want to describe if you're good at teamwork, you just say, I'm very good working as a team.
Yes, or you could say
in a team.
You could say you're a team player.
Team player. I'm a team player.
Yes.
I was about to say that. Well done, Mr. Duncan. You beat me to the punch.
We're not.
Yes, say you're a team player. or you're very good working in a team.
Yes.
Which, of course, you have to say if you're in sales and you go for a job and there's going to be a team of other people, you have to say you're good working in a team, because if you don't, you're not going to get a job.
That's it. Even if you don't like people and you are completely antisocial all the time, if you go for a job interview, always say that you are a team player, because most big companies nowadays, they are absolutely obsessed with team building, having teams, different groups of people all competing with each other for sales. It's what the Nazis did, you know. It's the same thing. It's what Hitler used to do. He used to give all of these generals different jobs to do, and they would all fall out with each other and compete with each other. And he always thought that he'd get the best person. As it turned out, they were all crap. They were all rubbish.
I've always found, I've been in sales most of my working life, and I've always found the emphasis on teamwork to be rather overdone. Because it might be different if you're working in an office environment, say in a call centre. But if you're in the type of sales that I was in, so you have your own sort of territory, but you don't regularly meet up with other friends, it's really just down to you what you do. I've always thought it's been rather overdone, the importance on teamwork. At the end of the day, it's what you do yourself that's the important thing. Yes, you can get a bit of rivalry going.
Yes.
But yeah, I suppose so. But I've always thought it's been a bit overdone.
Apparently
it was a joke.
Apparently in Brazil, you will be fined. They will actually charge you money if you don't vote. I don't know how they find out, though. How do they know that you haven't voted? So I'm interested to find out. So are they using electronic voting systems? Because that's the only way that I can work out that they would know that you hadn't voted. And the other problem, of course, is I always thought votes were private. So when you vote, it should be a private thing, surely.
Well, they don't know what you voted for, but they do
so.
know you voted because they tick your name off.
Yeah.
Of course, in some countries, if you don't vote, you might get, you might get shot.
Seems a bit harsh.
I know. Well, we know what's been going on, don't we? Oh, apparently that was a joke. Tom really wasn't asking for words to do with teamwork. I should have read the entire comment here.
Oh.
But yeah, so never mind. Yes, I've seen it now.
Are you okay?
Yes. Anyway, there we go. Yes. Viet Nguyen says it's been a long time since I joined one of your live streams, Duncan.
It's Blue Thunder.
Is it?
Do you remember Blue Thunder? Blue Thunder, by the way, is the person that Mr. Steve
Is it his birthday?
accidentally... No, it isn't. It isn't that.
There was always
What?
somebody that said it was their
No.
birthday.
Anyway, thank you for...
Blue Thunder. Yes, but best not to
Blue
refer to that, Mr. Duncan.
Blue Thunder is the person that Steve accidentally became attracted to.
I made a faux pas, didn't I? A faux pas means you say something that is...
You misgendered the person, and then you got their age wrong, and it all became very inappropriate.
You can look back at early live streams, yes.
It's
we
a
won't,
classic moment. A classic moment. I think Steve was just trying to be kind. Hello, Blue Thunder. Nice to see you back. The last time you spoke to us, you were about to take your exams and you were very busy with your studies. So it's nice to see you back here. It's lovely when people come back.
OMG, you remembered.
Yes. Of course I remembered. Yes.
He's not just a pretty face, you know.
It's all up here, inside this lump of clay,
Remembers everything.
under my hat. It's all under here, under this big hat.
Yes, Vitas, when you go to vote, they know you've been because they tick you off. You have to give some ID, don't you, when you go. They don't know who you voted for.
But at least here, you don't have to do it. You're not forced to do it. But in Brazil, you have to.
Right.
You have no choice. You have to do it. You have to go and vote. And if not, you will be fined. Well, at least it's only money. It's nothing worse than that.
Hello to Taiwan. Yes. Well, I mean, really, I'm almost in favour of everybody voting. I think everybody should vote in a way because if you are, then people can't complain if it doesn't go the way they don't want it to. In this country, you're lucky if you get a turnout of 50%. It's sometimes a lot less than that.
Yes.
Probably around 40%.
The average population, the people that decide they want to vote, is normally around 48%, 48 or maybe 51 or 52%. It's never anything near 100%. But
as Autumn points out, it's democracy.
Yes,
can't force people to vote if they don't want to.
And it would be ironic as well, because voting is a form of democracy, so that should also be a choice.
Yes.
So you are taking away
Autumn smartphone. Good point.
You are taking away the democracy by telling people that they must vote, when in fact, oh dear, it's making my brain hurt. In fact, the democratic right to vote should be one that you can choose to do because it's a democracy. So when you force people to vote, you are technically taking away their democracy by telling them that they must do it. Wow. I think I've just discovered a paradox, Mr. Steve.
Victoria points out that a lot of people don't vote because they probably don't feel represented anymore. Yes, that's a good point. So they're disillusioned and they think that their vote isn't going to count for anything. It's a bit like where we live. It's ultra-conservative where we live here.
It's very strange that we've decided to move to an area that would probably have both of us hung in the town centre tomorrow, if they had the chance.
So it's ultra-conservative, so sort of on the right side of... Yeah, but it's not sort of far right. It's sort of, right of centre.
Okay.
But if we wanted to vote for a left-wing candidate, which we often do, there's virtually no chance they would get in to power because it's a very conservative area. So you could vote for them, but it wouldn't, because we don't have proportional representation in the UK. It's first past the post system.
Yes, okay. Ooh.
So we won't get...
Let's not go there, because it becomes incredibly complicated.
Yes, so
Yes.
I'm just saying,
We'll stop.
your vote won't count. If your area wins, it doesn't matter who you voted for.
Okay.
We don't have proportional representation in the UK.
No, that's it. It's true.
Yeah, so there we go.
Yeah. Conservative, I suppose we should mention, Conservative is normally right of centre. So when we talk about conservative views or conservative ways of thinking, conservative attitudes, they normally tend to be quite, I want to say draconian. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but they tend to be very strict, or they tend to be quite judgmental. And then, of course, you go across to the left, maybe for those who are more liberal, or maybe those who are more leaning towards socialist values. We often say the left. Although nowadays a lot of politics tends to be around the centre. So that's what we normally talk about when we talk about conservative parties or conservative values. And of course, in the United States, they have Republicans. Republicans are the conservatives, and the Democrats are they're leaning more towards the liberal side of politics. Wow. I hope you enjoyed that.
Blue Thunder says that their English is now a lot better.
Good.
Hopefully, some of that
is it because
you will associate with Mr. Duncan's help. Hopefully,
is it because of me?
Yes. Oh yes. Going to make a video to show us. Yes, please do, and maybe we can show some excerpts on this very live stream.
As long as it's interesting. If it isn't interesting, I won't show it.
Yes, Palmyra points out that some politicians seem to get like 99% of the vote.
In some countries?
Yes.
Which countries are those?
Well, they're talking about Russia and places like that. Yes, it is interesting, isn't it? North Korea, Belarus, they always win by 99%.
I don't think they have elections in North Korea.
But, well, you know what I mean. You know what Palmyra is saying.
If you ever think of democracy, one of the last places on the planet I would think of is North Korea.
But they sometimes stage elections, don't they? And
although, having said that, the United States are now allies with North Korea, according to Kamala Harris.
Yes.
Kamala Harris said, we're now allies. So the US and North Korea are now good friends.
That was a bit of a faux pas.
A bit of a mistake.
Yes. It doesn't give her credibility very, very much good, does it? No. But yes, it's interesting when people get in with 99% of the vote. you tend to think that maybe that's not, 100% right.
Yes.
I mean, I heard some of the areas it was very low, down to sort of 98.
Which areas?
Of some of these countries that have recently voted.
Oh,
some of these areas. Yes, I heard in some areas it was much lower than 99.
This seems very vague.
97, 98.
97 and 98. Never trust any election that has a 98% turnout or vote for the positive side. It's never right. It's never true.
Yes, here we go. Yes, talk about US government meddling in other countries' elections. Yes, this is always something that's levelled at the US and other countries that sometimes they...
But everyone blames each other.
Everyone blames each other, yes.
It's a good way of being a bad loser.
Whether they are or not, we don't know. How could you ever prove that?
Yes.
It's probably a matter of opinion.
Yeah, that's it. Most of it is.
Mr. Duncan, I want my snack.
Don't eat it now, because we're about to do something big.
I'm hungry.
We're about to do something very big. Oh, by the way, last week I noticed that the farmers have been very busy in the fields last week. And would you like to have a look? Okay, look, the farmers have been very busy in the field. They are now turning over the fields. They turn over the land, and they are preparing their fields for the new crop, which will be coming, well, I suppose early next year. So now they are preparing their crop for replanting. They will plant once more their crop. I don't know what they are planting this year. It might be rapeseed, it might be wheat, it might even be barley. So we will have to wait and see. Who knows? So the farmer's doing some last-minute work, preparing the land in their fields and driving their big tractor all over the place.
It's a good time. It's a very good time to start planting seed because it's unseasonably warm.
It is.
So it will be interesting to see what crop that they are putting in there.
And once again, it's quite wet as well.
Yes, we've had a bit of rain, so it's perfect perfect seeding weather at the moment, I would say.
If you have any seeding to do, now is the time to do it.
That's a very sturdy-looking tractor, Mr. Duncan.
It is.
It looks very sturdy, very powerful.
I think it is.
It's always interesting. I'd like to drive a tractor, Mr. Duncan.
Have you ever tried?
No.
Oh.
I would, I like mowing the grass, in the garden. I think I would really enjoy
Driving a tractor. Yes.
And ploughing a field.
Yes. It's been I tried it once. It's been a while since I ploughed anything. What?
Disgusting, Mr. Duncan.
That's not disgusting. I'm on about farms. I've always wanted to work on a farm. I would love to take care of the cows and the sheep. I would love to spend time with the sheep.
Yes. Well, you've always said you wanted to do sort of farm work.
Yes.
But whether you're actually up to it, I don't know.
No.
Blue Thunder.
Yes.
I've got to be able to pronounce my words
Correctly.
clearly and correctly. I don't want to make a mess of the eulogy tomorrow.
No. Although so far it's not looking good.
It's not, no. It says, congratulations on 1 million subscribers.
Thank you very much. My life has changed so much.
It has.
It has. I can't tell you how much better my life is since I passed 1 million subscribers. It's we can get into restaurants.
The attention that you've been getting.
Yes, we get into restaurants.
Free meals.
If they're fully booked and there are no tables available, I just say, do you realise I'm Mr. Duncan and I have over 1 million subscribers? And then suddenly, as if by magic, a table appears. And they say, oh, why didn't you say, come on in, Mr. Duncan from YouTube, who has over 1 million subscribers?
Well, I mean, we heard a helicopter, didn't we? Shortly afterwards, you went through 1 million. A helicopter landed in the field behind us, and out got an executive from YouTube.
Yes.
Came over and personally handed you your golden button.
Yes, and they shook my hand personally, and they gave me a little hug as well. I'm not sure if the kiss was necessary, but there you go.
They came all the way from America.
He was a nice chap.
Yes. Of course, quite the opposite has happened to what we have just described.
Yes. Think of the opposite of everything I've just said. And that's actually what happened. So no play button, no greetings from YouTube, no available dinner table in a restaurant, none of those things. Everything has stayed the same. So nothing has happened.
Belarusi is going. Bye for now.
See you later, Claudia. Claudia's off to vote. But who will Claudia vote for?
Be careful. Be careful, because I don't know if it's just what the press is saying here, but gun ownership has gone up in Brazil.
You've said that already.
They're saying that there might be trouble. But so hopefully not.
Hopefully not. No, don't. If you're thinking of running around this afternoon with a gun to protest the elections, don't do it, please.
Who haven't we seen today who lives in Brazil?
Oh, well, he's going to be busy. He's busy.
Exactly.
He might be the one of the people running amok around the town.
That's true.
That's all we're saying. Don't say the name.
No. Yeah.
I don't want to get sued by anyone.
Let's hope he's keeping safe and keeping, above the law.
Aria Kaira says, "Hello guys, can I just say I love you? Please say hello, Elida. Hello, Elida. Maybe I can also use my echo. Hello, Elida. It's nice to see you here today."
And have we pronounced? Did Mr. Duncan pronounce your name correctly, or whoever that is? Yes.
Of course I did. Of course I pronounced your name correctly.
I like the purple hearts. Thank you for that.
What?
Calanoni, Saturino. Run fast or you won't find my Calanoni. Cannelloni. I can't pronounce that, Mr. Duncan.
Cannelloni.
Cannelloni. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Cannelloni.
They often say the last half hour of my live stream is very dull.
Yes.
So now you know. Today we're looking at some words and phrases connected to roads, being on the road, driving around on the road.
Right.
So I think we'll do that now. And not only that, we also have a nice introduction for it as well. Of course, Claudia is not from Brazil. I knew that. Why did you think I didn't know that?
We were just testing.
Just
well spotted.
Yes, well spotted, everyone.
We like to try and catch people out from time to time, just to see if you're paying attention.
Yes.
You passed the test.
Yes.
Well done.
You passed the test with flying colours. So today we are looking at words and phrases connected to being on the road, roads, driving. So that is right up your street.
Right up my street. Is that the first idiom? Right up my street.
I don't know. Shall we just carry on?
Oh, well, Tomek's already said that.
Oh, how strange.
And others, which we may well come to.
Road and street idioms. Well, guess what? You are right. Right up your street.
Right up your street.
How did you know that, Tomek? I'm a little suspicious how you knew that.
Psychic.
Are you watching the replay? In which case, how? How are you? Did you go forward in time? And you've already watched today's live stream. Right up your street. If something is right up your street, it means it is something that will be of interest to you or something that you might have some knowledge about. So maybe if I mention cars, Mr. Steve will suddenly, his eyes will light up like that. And I will say, yes, Mr. Steve, this particular subject is right up your street.
Yes, because I'm interested in it and I have some knowledge on the subject. And so some people might say that Mr. Duncan's live English streams are right up their street.
Yes.
It's just what they need to help them learn English.
Yes, something is suitable. Something is a thing that they're interested in.
Yes.
It's right up your street.
You can interact. You've already got a bit of knowledge of English. It's all going to be good for you. Right up your street.
The next one, we'll get through these quickly. Hit the road. If you hit the road, it means that you go. You leave. You depart. You hit the road. So think of actually getting into the car or driving off. Well, of course, you normally drive on the road. You hit the road. You are going away. You are leaving. It is time to hit the road.
This part is boring. Let's hit the road. Just means you're going to leave.
Yes.
You're going to drive off, go away.
You've-
Interestingly enough, Tomek also said that before we'd even started
Oh.
as well. In fact, he said hit the road and up my street
Oh.
before we'd even started this particular segment.
I'm now starting to think maybe Tomek is a time traveller.
Yes.
So what's the next one, Tomek? Here we go. Let's see if he can prove that he's a time traveller. Come on then, Tomek. What's the next one? Come on, clever clogs. Come on.
Palmyra likes Hit the Road. That's her favourite.
Yes.
Saturina says something about me pronouncing something. can't
That is a
quite
tongue twister to help you pronounce your words.
Ah,
So if you say that 2 or 3 times, then it helps you then to pronounce words.
say
that are-
what 2 or 3 times?
Well, what was written there?
Can plus hello.
No. I will try to find it. Okay.
Is it cannelloni?
It is not.
That's a bit of a tongue twister for me.
11 benevolent elephants.
Oh, where's
apparently.
that?
11 benevolent elephants.
11 benevolent elephants.
Yes.
11 benevolent elephants.
It's very hard to say.
11 benevolent elephants.
I think that might be a little bit of a tongue twister.
Interesting fact about elephants, in South Africa at least, they're having to control the populations.
Too many elephants.
Too many elephants. They're actually they are giving contraceptive. They are giving contraceptives to the female elephants. Not giving them to them.
Not the male.
No,
You don't have to put a giant condom on the male elephant, because that is a job that I don't think many people will want to do. It's going to be very hard. You would have to use one of those big sort of plastic bags that you use to put your rubbish in. You have to use that as a condom, I would imagine.
Yeah, but apparently, yes, everybody thinks that elephants are dying out.
Okay.
But apparently they're not. Their populations are increasing to the point where I think it was South Africa, they're having to control them with contraception rather than shooting them, which is, of course, very nice way of controlling them.
That's not a good way.
In fact, just stopping them becoming pregnant, the females. Don't know how they do it. Don't ask me the process.
Did you know they have elephants in the wild in China?
Do they?
Did you know that? Yes.
I didn't see any. But
Well,
everywhere,
not
just
there.
certain parts.
Well, not in the city we were staying in,
No, I'm
no.
only joking.
But in the south. It's very tropical, you see, in the south of China. But they do have wild elephants. Tomek, you are wrong. It's actually explore new avenues.
What's that?
Well, Tomek was going to guess what the next one is.
Oh, I see.
But he's wrong. You're wrong.
Oh, but he has suggested a good one.
Yes, well, we might have that later.
By the way, Hit the Road Jack
It's a song.
is a song.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
Yes. So I wonder if contraception is against the elephant's religion.
I don't know.
Imagine if they were Catholic elephants.
Yes, well, but there'll be no
Wouldn't go down very well, would
there'll be
it?
no contraception if they're Catholic.
No, exactly. So if they want to avoid contraception, they should actually tell all these people that are trying to give them contraception that they're in fact Catholics.
Yes.
And thus it's against their religious beliefs. There we go. So explore new avenues, Mr. Duncan.
Explore new avenues, find out new things, explore the world around you, find out new things, acquire new knowledge, learn about things you didn't know about before you knew about them.
Yeah.
Explore new avenues.
Well, that's it. To say, for example, you want to, you're getting set in your ways. You always see the same friends. You always go to the same places to eat, maybe. And then you're getting a bit bored and you think, well, it's about time we explored some new avenues. Let's try an Indian restaurant in a different town,
Yes.
for example.
Let's go to a Lebanese restaurant.
Yes.
Let's try some Lebanese food.
Maybe you want to change careers. You're bored with your career and you want to explore new avenues. Maybe maybe you've just stopped working and you are thinking about not retiring but doing something else, but not in the same thing that you were doing before. So myself, I was in sales for 30 odd years. Maybe it's time for me to explore new avenues.
Yes.
Maybe I could look at going into working in a hospital.
You can't
For
see
example.
what. Can I just show you what Steve was doing? Because he was doing it
Doesn't matter.
off camera. He was going, explore new avenues.
Yes, well, that's,
So what are
I'm
you
going
doing?
down an avenue, Mr.
Oh,
Duncan.
is that what you're doing? You're going down an avenue. Okay.
I might decide I want to be a teacher.
This is Mr. Steve going down a new avenue.
Well,
It's good.
I might decide, I've never, I might think about teaching.
Yes.
Or I might think about going back to work in labs
Yes.
that I used to work in. Explore new avenues. It's a good one, Mr. Duncan.
Doing strange genetic modifications on animals. Maybe maybe you can make certain parts of elephants much smaller, so that it's much easier to put a condom on them. Streets ahead. If you are streets ahead, you might describe a person as being streets ahead, or a company. It means they are advanced. They have some advantages over something else. A person can be streets ahead, or a company if they produce very good products.
They're streets ahead of their competition.
Yes.
So they've got some advantage, or you could be streets ahead of your nearest rival if you were at work and you were, say, in sales. It always was sales with me.
You do like sales.
You could say the charts would come out and you're 20% higher in your sales. You could say I'm streets ahead
Streets ahead.
of the next person. It just means that you are winning, in effect, doesn't it? It means you're
Yes.
winning.
That's it. You are more advanced. You are ahead of the game. You are streets ahead. Here's a not so happy one now. Maybe if you come to a sudden stop, maybe you are driving along the road, but then suddenly there is no more road. The road suddenly ends and you reach a dead end. Dead end. We can also use this figuratively to show that you've reached a point where you can't continue any further. Maybe you are having negotiations. Two groups of people are trying to negotiate, but they can't decide. They can't come to any agreements. You can say that they reached a dead end. They can go no further. So a dead end on the road means a point where the road ends and you can't go any further. And figuratively, if you reach a dead end, it means you can't continue with a conversation or negotiations. That thing has come to a sudden end, a dead end. Did you like that, Steve?
Road to Hell, Palmyra says, by an AC/DC.
Yes. Road to Hell, wasn't that by Chris Rea?
Maybe AC/DC did it as well. This is the road to hell.
This is the road.
Can't get down that.
This is the road to hell.
Yes, Tom, I do. I used to work in labs very early on in my early 20s. I used to work in a hospital lab doing all the blood testing.
Yes.
So that actually was what I was trained in.
Yes.
And then I got bored with it after 4 years because there was no chance of promotion. And so I then went into
Phlebology.
into sales and stuff.
He was into phlebology.
Pardon?
Phlebology.
What's that?
Is that to do with blood?
It might be.
Yes. Phlebology.
Oh, yes, a phlebotomist
A phlebotomist.
is somebody that takes blood out of you
Yes.
when you go to the doctors.
Do I win a
He's
prize?
a bit clever. He's
Yes.
too clever.
Yeah.
Yes. Highway to Hell. Is that another
Oh,
song?
that's the one. Highway to hell. We're on the highway to hell.
Is that AC/DC?
I think that's AC/DC.
Okay. Yes, I can. I don't know whether I can still go back. I could still go back into labs. It's not like there wasn't a medical thing. So if you were a nurse or a doctor and then you stopped being a nurse or a doctor, then 10 years later you tried to get back into it, you would then have to revalidate your license and go through some training. For me to go back and work in a lab, I would need a bit of training, but I don't need a license to do it as such. I don't need to satisfy any regulatory authorities.
Okay.
I could just say, I want to go back and work here, and they'd train me up on the machines or whatever.
Let's just hope, Mr. Steve, that you are not kicked to the curb.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh!
Do you like what I did there? Did you see that? Do you see what my brain was doing there? It was doing things. It was going... Kicked to the curb. So if you are kicked to the curb, it means you are rejected. You are cast aside. You are no longer of any use. A bit like me, really, on YouTube. YouTube has kicked me to the curb. The algorithms have decided that now I am just pointless, useless. They have kicked me to the curb.
Yes. You could say that about your workplace. You could use that in place of the word redundant. You could say, I've been kicked to the curb.
Kicked to the curb.
It just means you're in the gutter. Or a bit like saying you're in the gutter. Similar to that. So you're not... life is suddenly not treating you very well.
Talking of which, you might find yourself in the gutter.
Oh.
Look at that. Has everyone become psychic today? Yes, how did you know that? Very good.
I didn't. I never see any of this before I come on.
A person who is in the gutter is a person who has been rejected or cast out or used and then thrown away. It happens a lot in relationships. Maybe you meet someone and they seem so lovely and nice, but then later they just use you and then they throw you in the gutter. You might find yourself being rejected.
The gutter, of course, being the side of the road where all the rubbish and the water goes down. So yeah, it's dirty, it's wet.
Sometimes we call it the drain.
Yes.
So where the water, the rainwater, and all of the sewage and all of the horrible stuff will go away.
You're in the gutter.
You are in the gutter.
You're in a bad place in life.
And don't forget, Oscar Wilde once said, we are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars, which is a great way of saying, even if you are down on your luck and things are not going your way, like most people on the planet at the moment, remember, we are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. We can still appreciate being alive and the things we have around us.
Yes, I mean, I don't think I'll probably get, I'm a bit old to go back into labs, but I know people that, it depends what you're doing. What I was doing was sort of fairly low-level testing. It just means that you have to have some basic science qualification. That I've got that, so that doesn't matter. But I would need to be trained in the new equipment. Someone would have to say, "Oh, we'll take you on maybe part-time, but all the equipment's changed in the last 30 years. We'll train you on it." It's probably unlikely anybody would employ me in that.
I think...
But they might.
If you said the last time you worked in a lab was in the early 1980s, I think they would probably raise their eyebrows and think this guy would need some more training because things have changed.
They would probably think, well, we can get somebody a lot younger, probably on lower wages, and they'll be much quicker to train in the new equipment. I mean, I'm not the best, am I, with technology?
You are not.
I mean, it's funny. I used to operate these giant machines, Mr. Duncan, and program them all and put all these bloods in and get them all tested and analyse the results.
Yes, it's just as well you're not afraid of blood, because a lot of people are. Even if they see just a little drop of blood, they feel all queer and they fall to the floor.
Yes.
Would you like another one? Here we go. Maybe there was a problem.
Is that curb is in America? Do they say curb or gutter?
They say curb as well.
We both say curb, don't we?
The hard side or the edge of a road, normally it is reinforced with concrete, is the curb. Curb. It means just to hold back, or if you hold or restrict or end something. You are protecting that edge,
Yes,
the
it's-
curb, that thing.
If you stand on the curb, we say that in the UK a lot. Don't stand on the curb
Yes.
because it's dangerous because you might get it's right at the edge of the
But
road,
that's
isn't it?
Curb just means hold back. So you are
Yes.
holding back between where people walk and where people drive.
Yes, it's just that slightly raised bit leading onto the pavement usually, or
Some-
the sidewalk.
Okay. Sometimes you might hit a bump in the road. Life is unfair. That is it. That might be Mr. Steve's eulogy tomorrow. It might be part of it. Life is unfair. Don't expect life to be fair. Don't expect things to always go your way, because now and again you will hit a bump in the road.
It might throw you off course. The bump might, if you're in a car and you hit a bump, it might burst the tyre and you have to stop and repair it.
Yes.
It might throw you into a different lane
Yes.
or something.
You
just means
you might even crash. You might lose a wheel and crash.
yes.
But figuratively, we are saying that you will hit or you will come across a difficulty or a situation that is hard to deal with. You hit a bump in the road.
Yes, somebody said, "What? How is Tom Rocks?" Hello, Tom says, "How is gutter related to the road?" Well, the gutter is just the bit where all the water drains away. That's
So,
the
so
gutter.
the road doesn't flood. So
Yes.
it's a way of draining
Under the curb. It's just under the curb.
Yes, you drain the water away in the gutter.
Yes.
Another one. This is where many of us will be in about 6 months' time, Steve.
Yes. Have we said? Yeah, I think have we said that one? Yeah, I think we have.
Well,
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm writing down these. Go on, Mr.
That's good,
Duncan.
Steve.
Carry on.
Just the momentum of the show.
Well, just keep going then.
Okay, then. Skid Row. This is where a lot of people are going to end up, including us. You might see a couple of hungry people sitting in the street with their it won't be a mobile phone. It will just be a piece of cardboard with a hole cut in it. And it'll be us. We will all be on Skid Row. Skid Row means you are down on your luck, normally financially. You have very little money. Everything is going wrong. You have lost all your money. You are living on low income. You are in Skid Row, which of course is an actual place in the United States.
You're down on your luck.
The streets are lined with people who are down on their luck. They have hit Skid Row.
Here's a good one from Connell. Queer Street.
Yes.
If you're on Queer Street, it doesn't mean you're in
Well,
the gay village.
Queer Street is just something that's out of the ordinary. You go down. I wonder if there is a Queer Street anywhere. I don't think there's one in the UK.
If you say you're on Queer Street,
Yes, you're feeling not yourself. You're not feeling yourself. You're feeling unusual. Maybe under the weather, or maybe you can't think clearly. You are. I feel a little bit queer, to be honest.
yes, you're on Queer Street. It just means you're in an area you just feel like you don't feel yourself. You're not very well.
Yes,
Got some? Have you got others, Mr. Duncan?
got loads
You've got
more.
loads, right? Well,
Lots and lots and lots.
My legs are aching, Mr. Duncan.
Poor Mr. Steve.
I know. I need to sit down. My hips are hurting. It's standing all this time, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, I think you are about 5 years away from needing a wheelchair.
A hip replacement at the very least.
Is that your latest obsession? Here we go. This is something Mr. Steve likes to do
Ooh, yes.
when he's in his car. He likes to burn rubber. I can't do it. Burn rubber. Burn rubber. If you burn rubber, it means you are driving very fast. You
Yes.
burn rubber.
People who drive Ford Mustangs burn rubber. So, as an idiom, what's it meaning, Mr. Duncan? As a euphemism?
Just to leave quickly. If you are in a hurry, you depart fast. With urgency, you
Right.
burn rubber. So you can use this figuratively, but also you can use it as an expression when you are driving recklessly or too fast. You burn rubber. It means you are driving really fast, or maybe you are driving dangerously as well. But of course, figuratively, we can say that we are leaving in a hurry. We must burn rubber. It's
Or-
time to go quickly.
Yeah, just from a party. It doesn't mean you're literally going to spin the wheels on your car. If you're doing something as well that is, you're especially good at it and you are streaking ahead of other people, you could say, in sales, you could say, I'm going to burn rubber. You're not, you're going to be really fast. You're going to be the first. You're going to get there first. You're going to do really well.
Speed. Here we
Yes,
go.
Tom, I can't take a seat because if I do that, I'll sink out of the. If I take a seat, I should be here like this. Oh, that wasn't very good for my knees, Mr.
I must
Duncan.
admit, it does improve the live stream.
Yes.
No end. We might get chairs one week. Well, Steve used to sit in a chair when we started doing live streams together,
Much better.
and it was more comfortable. And of course, he's older than me, much, much older.
My joints are wearing out.
In fact, you might say that Steve is about to take a turn for the worse. Ah,
Is that road related?
yes. Well, what do you do when you go around a corner?
Drive.
You turn. You take a turn.
Oh, right. Yeah.
For the
okay,
worst.
yeah,
Yes,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that,
it's
Mr. Duncan.
it's a driving manoeuvre on the road, you see. So cars, driving, road, turn for the worse. Something goes in the wrong direction, maybe towards a bad outcome or a bad result. It takes a turn for the worse.
Yes, your illness. If you're ill and you've been ill for a while and you suddenly get worse, you can say, they've taken a turn for the worst. It means that they've gone from not being very well to being very unwell.
Or maybe on the road to something even worse.
Yes, normally if you say they've taken a turn for the worst or a turn for the worse, it probably means they could be, on the way out, about to die.
Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on. You might come to a crossroads.
Oh,
So
yeah.
where roads intersect with each other, they cross each other. Quite often you will come to a corner of a road or the end of a road, but you are then at a crossroads. So there is a road going straight ahead, but also a road going across. You have to decide which way to go. In
Yeah.
life, quite often in life, you might come to a crossroads. You might have to make an important decision. You might have to decide. You might need to make a choice that will decide how your life continues. You come to a crossroads. It is a point in your life where you have to make a choice. We all have those sometimes.
That's right. Yes, something happens in your life and it makes you think about what you want to do next.
Here's another one. We are running out of time. Mr. Steve, when he's driving too fast, he might suddenly see a cyclist in the road. Although, to be honest, I think in that situation you would just drive faster and try to knock them off. Slam the brakes on. If you slam the brakes on, it means you
I think we know, Mr. Duncan.
slam the brakes on.
Or you can say put the brakes on something. It means you just stop doing something,
That's
doesn't
it. You stop. You put a stop to something. You suddenly stop doing it. Maybe you have a project that you are trying to start or to carry out or to develop. But then suddenly someone says, no, you can't do it anymore. We don't have enough money. You have to put the brakes on. You have to slam the brakes on because suddenly there isn't enough money. You have to
Yes.
stop suddenly. There
Put
is.
the brakes on that. You might be, yeah, that's it. You might be giving money away to people. Governments might be giving you money to help pay for your fuel bills, and then but they've given too much money away, and they have to put the brakes on it suddenly. Yeah.
Yes. And I think we have one more before we go, and I think this is a pretty suitable one. You might go round the bend.
Ah, right.
Well, on a road, you might go round the bend if the road begins to curve, but also in English, figuratively, a person who goes round the bend will go crazy, or they will lose their temper. They will lose control of their emotions or their feelings. They go round the bend.
You can say, I feel like I'm going round the bend.
Yes.
You feel very confused, very upset. Everything's overwhelming you. I'm going round the bend. Stop, will you shut up, or I'll go round the bend.
Yes. Especially parents.
Means you could be about to lose your temper.
Yes. When kids are being annoying and the parents can't stand anymore, they say, oh, for goodness sake, kids, shut up. Shut up. You're driving me round the bend. To go round the bend is to go crazy or lose your cool or to lose control of your emotions. And that is...
I've got some others from our lovely viewers.
Ooh.
Well, I've got one here, turn a corner.
Yes, if you turn a corner,
turn a corner.
it means maybe you recover from a problem, you overcome something, you turn a corner.
You might be ill. You might have an illness, and you've been feeling ill for days, like you've got coronavirus. And then suddenly, you never think that you're going to feel better again. And then suddenly one day you wake up and you feel a lot better, and you say, oh, I think I've turned a corner. So you think you've got over something. Which is a bit like the way I was feeling over grief of my mother's death. It seemed to go on for 2 or 3 weeks, seemed to go on for ages. I just kept waking up feeling awful. And then I said to you the other day, I woke up and I thought, I felt better. And I said to you, I said, I think I've turned a corner. So you've got somehow feeling better. And we had from Tomek, you've been repeating these. I hadn't missed them. I've been writing them down. One for the road.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yes, especially if you've had a night out and you're drinking, having some nice beer or some nice wine, and then it is time to leave, but you decide that you are going to have one more drink. You say, I will have one for the road.
Or the person at the party you're going to, or the house you're going to, you've been having a good time, you've been drinking, and they don't want you to leave, and you say, oh, I'm going now. And they might say, oh, how about just one more for the road? So they'll pour you another drink. Of course, these days, that phrase has to be said with caution, because you don't want to be having another alcoholic drink and then driving. So you wouldn't literally have, what it could be a soft drink, couldn't it? One for the road. But traditionally, it meant, have another alcoholic drink before you go out. But it doesn't mean you're going to get in the car. You might be walking home, or you might be going home with a friend who hasn't drunk, who is going to be driving. So thanks for that. One for the road just means you're going to have another drink. A one-way street. A one-way street is a street where traffic only flows in one direction.
Yes.
But you can use that figuratively as well, can't you?
That's it.
Oh, God, this is just a one-way street. You could say, usually said in a negative way, to indicate that, the conversation's only going in one direction.
Yes. Maybe you're in a conversation with someone, but they are doing all the talking. They are just... We've got some friends like that. And they will just keep talking and talking and talking to us.
Yes.
And they have no interest in what we're doing. They never ask how we are. They just talk about themselves and they dominate the conversation. It is just a one-way street.
Yeah.
They are doing all the talking and they don't care about us. They have no interest in us whatsoever.
Vitas made some good suggestions as well. Road to nowhere.
Oh, yes. That is a famous song
It's
also
a famous song.
by
but-
Talking Heads.
Oh, no. Kick the can down the road, said Vitas.
Okay.
That's a good one. If you kick the can down the road, that's used a lot at the moment.
Yes.
In politics,
Definitely.
and they've used that phrase a lot to do with financial matters.
Yes.
If you kick the can down the road, it means you're putting off doing something that you should do.
Yes. So maybe you're talking about the issue or the problem, but you're not doing anything about it. You just kick the can down the road.
You know something needs to be done, but you don't do what's needed, what really needs to be done. So you kick the can a bit further down the road, and then obviously if you have got a can and you kick it down the road, it takes you a while to get to that can. And figuratively speaking, it means you're just putting off making a decision about something. Like the central banks might be putting off a decision to put up interest rates to curb inflation. They're not, but they might be. And they're trying to, they're just going to kick the can down the road.
Yes. Any more?
One more from Connell. Thank you, Connell. All roads lead to Rome. That's a good one.
Yes.
So it's indicating that no matter what you do, it's all going to lead to the same place.
Yes.
Because all roads, thousands of years ago, all roads did lead to Rome.
Yes.
Literally,
What about-
they did.
What about the sea and the oceans?
Yes, it's indicating that that's the important place was Rome in the past, I think, and everything ended up in Rome. So no matter what you did, money, people, it would all end up in the same place.
And how long did it take to build?
A day. Well, no, more than a day.
It literally wasn't. It literally wasn't built in a day.
Yes, lots of phrases about Rome, but yes, all roads lead to Rome just means no matter what you do, no matter what you say, you're going to end up in the same place.
Yes.
Even if you're trying to avoid that place,
Yes.
you might not be able to avoid it.
Sometimes in life things are inevitable,
Yes.
like finishing the live stream, which is what we are doing now.
Means I can have my snack.
Mr. Steve is going to have his little snack. I am probably going to have another piece of bread because I'm still hungry. And we're going to have a cup of tea and watch a little bit of television as well.
And not too much. I don't want to fall asleep because I've got a lot of things to prepare for tomorrow. But lovely to be here with you all. And we shall see you again. Well, I shall see you again next week, probably.
Next
Hopefully.
Sunday?
Next Sunday. Might see you on Wednesday. But Mr. Duncan's here Wednesday. Please like the live stream. Please subscribe and click the bell icon if you haven't done that. This all helps Mr. Duncan to be seen further afield, which is what we need for Mr. Duncan to carry on doing these live streams. So that's all I've got to say, Mr. Duncan. See you all next week.
Thank you, Mr. Steve. And there he goes. Parting is such sweet sorrow, but we will see Mr. Steve next Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. Thank you, Mr. Steve. It's always good to see you here. And that's almost it from us for today. I hope you have had a good time. I've been with you for 2 hours and 7 minutes today. It's been a long one. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. See you on Wednesday. Yes, I am back on Wednesday with a shorter live stream. And of course, next Sunday we are back together again with another 2 hours next week from 2 p.m. UK time. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been fun. We have enjoyed it. And we hope that you have as well. Catch you later. Take care, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And of course, enjoy the rest of your beginning of the week as well. See you on Wednesday. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. See you soon. And of course, until the next time we meet, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Thank you very much for joining us today. We do appreciate it. Ta-ta for now.